So I just left out. I was told that I was uh, given a bed at the Salvation Army, so we went over there and did all the paperwork and everything. And so I was told that I wasn't able to, you know, I was asking Good Shepherd also, but I still haven't gotten an answer back about, you know, what about us holistic people who don't, you know, have, you know, eat dairy products and stuff like that, who wish to have, you know, salads and stuff like that. I eat more salads than I eat anything. But, you know, when I do like frozen vegetables, I don't put butter in my stuff. You know, I just have like my seasonings that I use, like garlic, you know, things that are still healing you some kind of way. I was told I wasn't able to have that stuff in the building. I said, well, what about at least just, you know, storing it in the kitchen, just, you know, to be able to help my diet and whatnot. You know, at Good Shepherd, I, you know, told them I would, they said they had string beans, but they got butter in it. They had collard greens or whatever, but they had bacon in it. So I didn't eat the collard greens, but, you know, I said, sometimes I'll make an exception because I don't eat it on a daily basis, you know, but like when I eat ice cream, it's plant-based. You know, they have plant-based stuff out there for us people. So why is it that, you know, us being in these positions, we can't have that? Or what about these people coughing all night long in these shelters and whatnot? These various shelters. You know, and me wanting to make my home remedies up. But I can't because we're not allowed to bring it into the building. Like, these things stop us from being able to, you know, stops us from being able to take care of ourselves, basically. You know, and day in and day out, daily basis, me going out the door to eat stuff, you know, buying stuff day in and day out, that eats your stamps up. Instead of making a salad that will last you a week, you know, or at least most of the week. It's just things like that I think about. I just walked out of there, like, you know, I'm saying, well, I couldn't even bring, like, my herbs and stuff from, like, me, you know, going out and eating on a daily basis. So I can't even have that there. So, like, that's like, and then my spiritual washes and stuff like that. Like, all that stuff, like, so I said, this isn't going to work out for me then. Because I can't, like, have anything that I do holistically. I don't take any medicine. I don't do any of that stuff. But it's like these shelters, everything they do is like to block you from your healing some kind of way. 5 o'clock in the morning. Why would you wake somebody up 5 o'clock in the morning if you're really there for them? And they didn't even start that until I started, you know, being in the shelters. I can understand maybe 6 or even 6:30. Why would you wake someone up at 5 o'clock in the morning? When you look at a daily, you know, routine, like, you know, clockwise on which things are good, 5 o'clock in the morning is when you still should be sleeping. It doesn't make any sense unless this is a spiritual, you know, thing going on, in which each one of these shelters, I done encountered all different kind of problems, which I actually am still going through with, you know, various different organizations. That's why I asked, who exactly is running, who is behind and profiting these various organizations? Which is a lot of religious groups, which it shows exactly who you are and how it is that you feel about spiritual people. it also shows a lot that's going on, behind the scenes of why the world isn't getting any better and it's getting worse. You always got to think like all these various different church groups and whatnot, all this stuff about getting in touch with God, all this stuff about government bodies up there trying to make it a better world. Why is it getting worse? But you have people like me who want to live holistically, all natural, so in touch with God, but yet we are the ones being targeted. But yet we are the ones who, day in and day out, our healing is blocked. Day in and day out, we are being silenced. And then I sit and I think about people who actually do Reiki, who actually do yoga and all that stuff, who aren't being targeted, but are filled with envy and hate in them. But I also see how it is that they don't exactly do everything, or, they don't exactly do things like in God's eyes, like kind of, like the Ten Commandments kind of thing. Like, a lot of people smile on your face and everything, but they don't mean the best for you. They're not generally there for you, genuinely there for you. And there's a particular person I've been watching online and stuff, and, and I'm looking at different things about him, about him walking around in his bare feet and like how grounding that is. His clothes and stuff that he wears, the way he lives his life and everything. He doesn't have to say much because of his lifestyle actually shows it. And the thing is like everybody seems to try to block that for me. But not only that, everybody always puts on there about what it is that he has. Well, I'm not even paying attention to I see what he has, where is kind of exactly where I'm trying to get to, but comfort-wise, not through anybody else or anything, but manifesting. The kind of lifestyle I'm manifesting for me and my kids, which is comfort and blessings. But I'm more looking on the part of the things he does. Okay, walking around barefooted. I thought it was, it's not something I would want to do like everywhere, but I see it as cool because I understand why it is that he does it, and it just seemed very grounding. Just his energy, just watching him, seems very grounding and strong. When I watch him, it's pretty cool. And I just sit and, just look at the different things that is on there. Not what's going on in his life, with his life, all details, which I, just looking at the thing that caught my eye is like different grounding things that he does. So I think that was pretty cool. It seemed like even like the clothes he wear and everything, it just seems like it's like a laid back, just chilling kind of thing. Grounding. It just shows real stability where you wouldn't probably even know that he probably had money like that. So that's what makes it cool about it. And then you have, on the other hand, you have all these other people who don't really have it like that. Who, do so many bottom feeder things to even have it. And don't have that same stability even in their aura or in their daily life. That's what I look at. I don't know. Just random thoughts.